Hello everyone, my name is Sergey, and today in my presentation I wanted to share a different experience with you, because I heard stories of many local search companies, and well, our story differs. I will also share a few business solutions that we use. I hope they are going to be interesting for you. So allow me to begin. What we do, basically, we make digital maps combined with business listings. Sorry. Huh? I guess, I'm not sure about that, but I guess this is Moscow. I guess. It's okay to make a mistake for me because I'm from Siberia. I'm not from Moscow. So this is how our products look, and well, you can actually visit www.2gis.ae to see an English version of our products. And I won't read all the numbers from the slide. I would just say that we are quite successful in our home markets. Our products come in 3 versions. We have a mobile application, we have a PC application, and we also have a web service. And this slide basically explains our philosophy, our strategy, and our business approaches very well. We basically try to be the most informative on the markets. We try to make the most detailed maps, the most informative business listings, and well, this is how we do our business. And the very first unusual, untypical thing that I wanted to share with is how our product appeared. I mean, we didn't have that transformation that many companies had. I mean, the transformation from doing a business on printed directories into and transforming it into digital products. Yeah, here we go. Our story started in Russia of 1990s, and as you could see on this photo, it was quite a difficult time for Russia, because Soviet Union just collapsed. We had very deep economical and financial crisis, and well, it was difficult and hard in almost every single aspect of life, including the information about cities. Even those printed directories that existed, they were not accurate, they weren't informative, and it was a problem to find information about your own city. And what we did, basically, a talented engineer, a talented programmer, Alexander Sesoyev, who founded our company, he had an idea how to make things work better. He basically created a PC application. This is how it looked. I love this screenshot. I mean, it looks very usual now. It's a mapping service. It's a mapping service combined with a directory. It allowed to look for locations. It allowed to look for information about companies. But I mean, I just want to remind you that it appeared 6 years before Google Maps appeared in Russia. So it was a product years ahead of its time. And basically, it helped all the Russian local search market to evolve from printed books into new type of products. This graph shows how the number of our projects grew. When I say a 2GIS project, I mean a piece of territory which usually covers one big city and a few smaller cities around it. So you can download such a project on your smartphone and use it without any internet connection. And as you can see, as you can see here, it took for us a few years to understand how to do business with such an innovative product. Because at first we tried to sell the product as a software, and it didn't work. Then we realized we should use an advertising model to monetize our service, and this is where it worked well. But the question that we had to answer was, all right, we have a product, which we have a blue ocean of possibilities because no one else had such a product. How can we expand into the new territories quickly? And we decided, sorry for that. We decided to use quite an unusual solution. We decided to use a franchising model. The point is that we have head office, which does all the functions that head offices usually do in development companies. We also have local business units. They basically do three functions. They collect and verify information. They promote products. They make people in the city know that 2JS can solve specific problems. And they also do sales. They sell advertising to small businesses. This is how we monetize our products. And what we did, we offered a franchise to local entrepreneurs. And the franchise would basically let them bring 2JS to their cities. And they could get an exclusive right to monetize 2JS in their cities by selling advertising to small businesses. I mean, I never heard about any other mapping service or digital product which would use a franchising model to expand into new territories. And we had a lot of doubts if it could work, but it worked very well. Now, franchising model, partnering model takes a serious part of a serious place in our business. If we take a look at the year 2016, almost half of our sales was generated by our partners. And what is even more important is that partnering program helps us to attract talented entrepreneurs into our business team. We attract their energy, we attract their ideas, and what was very important for international projects, we attract their local expertise, their understanding how to do business into these exact territories. And even now we are quite successful in Russia. We can compete with the global players quite effectively. As you can see, our product is ranked above our global and strong local competitors. And I hope we'll be able to keep these positions for many years. The next experience that I wanted to share you with is our first international project. It was Kazakhstan, and we entered that market in 2012. It happened much later, but what we realized is that the market still had a huge lack of accurate local information. These screenshots weren't made in 2012. They were made just a few days ago. And as you can see, that's a piece of Almaty, a very important city of Kazakhstan, the historical capital of Kazakhstan. As you can see, Google Maps are, well, there is an obvious lack of accurate and detailed information on Google Maps comparing to 2JS. And I just wanted to share with you how we work with data, how we made it possible to be more accurate than the others. You can see our data verification process, and it begins with quite usual solutions. If we take maps, we buy satellite images, we draw vector maps on their basis. If we take business listings, we collect everything that we can collect from corporate websites, from printed press. Then we use call center, then we call businesses to verify the information. But the most interesting part happens after that. It happens in here. After preparing the basis for both directories and maps, we hire people, we hire cartographers, we hire data collection agents. They work for us full-time, and they literally walk around the city and check if we have all the organizations that truly exist and truly operate, if we have them in our business listings, and if we have all the mapping objects on our maps. Such an approach helps us to reach a high data accuracy standard. The internal standard says that we gotta have at least 95% of truly existing and truly operating companies in our business listings, and we gotta have at least 95% of mapping objects that actually exist. We gotta have them in our maps. And of course, this approach is quite expensive. This is why we try to make this work more efficient by, I would say, digital assistants. As you can see, the guy on the photos, he works with an application that we created ourselves. It helps him to spend less resources, to spend less time on data verification. I just placed a couple of screenshots of that internal software, which shows the work with map and the work with business listings. Yeah. And again, such a strategy, such an approach, the strategy of being the most informative, helped us to take leading positions in Kazakhstan. As you can see, again, we are ranked above the others. We had quite a lot of international projects after Kazakhstan, but I wanted to use the example of Dubai as one of the most competitive markets that we ever entered. Though Dubai is a very competitive place, though there are a lot of players in Dubai, we still found out that there is a lack of accurate local information in Dubai. And we decided to fix that problem. But what was also hard about doing business in Dubai, that, well, for example, there is no official address system in Dubai. People look for places by building names, by landmarks, and such unusual such criteria. It was a product challenge for us, how to make our products do it all well and perform such searches well. We were able to do that. And I just wanted to provide you with an example of how Dubai government tries to fix that problem with the addresses. They try to implement something called Makani address system. According to that system, each address consists of 10 digits. So if you want to remember a couple of addresses, you got to remember 20, 30 or more digits. I mean, we'll have yet to see how it's going to work, but our products already support the system. We'll see how it's going to work. And the most important lesson that Dubai market provided us with is that it's not, we got to find new solutions within our strategy. Because it's not enough just to be accurate in Dubai. It's not enough to have an accurate and informative directory. It's not enough to have a detailed map. We need to find for new solutions if we want to be successful there. And a good example is the thing with entrances. I mean, there are a lot of big buildings in Dubai, and some of them have a lot of entrances. And we realized that it might be very helpful if you not only know in which building the company that you need is located. It might be also very helpful if you know what entrance to choose to reach that company faster. So we, well, basically, Dubai helped us to find this feature. Now it works in all the countries that where we operate. Now if you choose a company in 2GIS, such a small, oh, sorry. Yeah, such a small blue arrow will show you the entrance that you need to choose. I mean, it might seem like a small feature, but it helps a lot. It can save significant time for you. And well, though Dubai is a very competitive market, we're taking quite serious positions there, and hopefully soon I'll be able to share with you how we took the leading positions there, hopefully. In the end of my presentation, I wanted to share a couple of thoughts about the future of local search companies and specifically our business. I would use the example of Jakarta to share it, because we are interested in expanding to Southeast Asia. We visited Jakarta in 2016. We studied the market, and this is what we found out. Well, Jakarta seemed to us like a market where there is a lack of accurate local information, which is a good thing for us. We can fix that. As I said, we interviewed local businesses, and we think that a good digital and effective digital advertising product would be successful in Jakarta because Jakarta businesses need advertising. But together with that, we clearly understood that Jakarta is a very difficult market. It would be very hard for us to operate there because there are a lot of cultural differences, a lot of differences in how people live in their city. So a local support of a local partner with a wide local expertise would be necessary for us. And what we're thinking of is that the future of local search companies is not just in developing new products. It is not only in new technologies and in new possibilities that technologies bring to us. It is also in the ability of supplying such difficult emerging markets with accurate local information. I mean, if we can make it work, we can be successful there. I actually wanted to finish my presentation with the slide, and I'll be honest, I want to use the opportunity of being here to hear more of your feedback on whether this model can be successful in Southeast Asia or not. Because we think this model can work in Southeast Asia. It can help people find places, locations, and information about companies better. I would appreciate your comments on that a lot, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Sergey. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, we got a couple here. Okay.
And can we have that Q&A part in Russian, please? Nah? I was just kidding.
Oh, all right. I had a quick question. Extremely good presentation, thank you. I was wondering more about the revenue model, because I understand there's a lot of people working for you. You have people on the street looking at each separate location, but how do you actually monetize the opportunity? Is that just the app?
Yeah, thank you for the question. I realized that I should have added a few slides with the example of our advertising model. But again, if you go to that website that I mentioned, www.2js.ae, and look for restaurants, for example, you'll see that some of companies are listed above their competitors. They have logos, they have additional data fields, and this is what we're basically doing. I mean, we try to find places in different scenarios of our product where we can promote businesses. It works in different ways. I mean, we have media advertising positions, we have so-called context advertising model. Basically what we are trying to do, we try to find scenarios where we can promote businesses. The second part of this model is that we can actually, in every single city of our presence, we have a sales team. So we can visit any business in a city where we operate, and we can explain all the difficult digital stuff with in a very simple way. We can explain how a business can benefit from digital advertising even if a business doesn't have nothing with a understanding of digital market. So this is how it basically works, and I would also say that in well-monetized projects we have about 13% of all the companies that operate in a city become our advertisers. So we can advertise a lot of companies. So this is how we work. Thank you.
Another question?
Yeah, hi. I'm from Yellow Pages, Singapore. Two questions. Number one is, you know, I'm not sure whether you're aware, but there are WordPress solutions out there for like themes, like $50, and they, you know, they integrate with Google Maps and give you, similar kind of layouts, like where to eat, where to go, because we've been looking for such a solution as well. So, what would you say would be your value proposition versus, Google Maps, which is, especially for countries in Southeast Asia?
Yeah. I mean, I'm still working on my English, so I just want to make sure that I get the question right. So as far as I understood, the second part is about our competitive advantages in comparison to Google Maps, like in the way of product. Did I get it right? And honestly speaking, I didn't get the first part, sorry.
Okay, so the first question is, how do we compete against the, have you heard of WordPress?
Yeah, I got it.
So there are themes that do maps and allow anyone to populate a theme with restaurants and local places for like $50, $50 US. So I'm trying to understand your USP, your unique selling proposition versus a do-it-yourself solution.
Yeah, I got the question. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, I'll begin with competitive advantages in comparison to Google Maps. I mean, well, first of all, the thing is that we know local businesses, we know local organizations, and we have much more information than Google Maps does. That's the very basic competitive advantage of our products. But I mean, together with that, we had to raise our product development skills. Now we employ more than, I don't honestly remember the exact number, but it's something around 430 programmers who develop products, who develop search system, quite an advanced search system which can work fully offline. And such a combination of convenient product and, well, having the data available allows us to lead, to basically to compete with Google Maps. I mean, we clearly understand that it is possible not in every market. I guess it can be possible in Jakarta, where there is an obvious lack of accurate local information. And I know that Google tried to enter that market. They didn't succeed. And so I guess we have chances to be effective there. But I wouldn't try to compete with Google in London or America or on well-developed markets. So that's what I would say.
Okay, just one more question then. Yeah. So for your product to be relevant to like Singapore, is there research that your team needs to do to update your map to be more superior, for example?
This is what we usually do. I guess in a couple of weeks after this conference, I'm going to go to Africa. We're going to have a study of one country of Africa. This is what we usually do. We analyze the market through the internet. We collect all the information about products and about how people look for companies, how people look for the things that they need in their city. Then we go to the territory and we interview people. We just talk to them about how they, if they have a case, how they look for a plumber, for example. And it helps us to understand if our product would be in demand there, I mean, in terms of user base, in terms of people. And if we can attract users, we obviously can attract advertisers. So this is how it generally works. So the most effective way of how to understand if it's going to work or not on a specific market is to interview people there, interview businesses. This is how we do it. Yeah, thanks. I hope I answered your question.
Anyone else? All right. Well, thank you, Sergey.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move right into our next talk. We have Wee from Uberall, who's going to come on up, and she's going to give a presentation called A Stronger Voice for Search, talking about adapting to new methods of search and how search is evolving. So come on up. Please join me in welcoming Wee from Uberall.